the weekly recap. I'm Matt Wacker. After 120 years, the St. James Leader-Journal is no more. The weekly newspaper printed its final edition on July 13th. It began in 1896 and was the oldest running publication in St. James. Gatehouse Media owns both the Leader-Journal and the Rolla Daily News. They've announced the addition of a St. James section to the RDN paper to continue providing news and advertising space for St. James. Agriculture has been a way of life in mid-Missouri for generations, but with growing concerns about nutrition loss and other issues with mass food production, some farmers are working to bring locally grown, sustainable products to the wholesale and retail markets in their own backyards. Fidelity's Leanne Mentink reports.
Matt, America is getting in touch with its food sources again. There's a sort of romance between foodie and farm, kind of an excitement that grows when the freshest local ingredients meet the most creative chefs. One example of that is a partnership between Jane Paris of Moondance Farm near Owensville, Missouri, and Chef Alex Giger. He's the chef at the Public House Brewing Company tap room in St. James. Jane, you're not what most people envision when they think of a farmer. Okay. So what got you into farming in the first place?
My mother passed away in the year 2009, and she died in my arms. And the last sentence she said to me was, "Will you take care of the farm?" And I said, yes. And then she was gone. And I had 2 phone calls to make. One was to her brother and one was to mine. And I said to my uncle, "I just promised Mom I'd take care of the farm." And he said, "Don't worry about it. You've lied to her before." And but the farm was in such bad shape. Even if I was going to sell it, it was going to take more than a year to clean it up. And during that year, our next door neighbor, Mr. Roger Henson, convinced me that I could do this. And he promised to help, and he still helps and mentors me to this day.
So what's important about what you do here and how you raise your animals?
Well, not knowing anything, as I was starting to raise cattle and thought I could sell them, people were asking me for corn-fed finished beef. You know, you can buy corn-fed beef anywhere. I think I'll just go with grass-fed beef and try to keep things as natural as nature intended it. And cattle were made to eat grass, and that's what we do here.
That's awesome. So I understand you have a number of local restaurants that you source with your grass-fed beef. One of them, of course, we're going to talk to Alex in a few minutes, is the Public House Brewing Company in St. James. What is your favorite thing about living here, about doing this that you do, Jane?
Well, I was totally out of my element in 2009, and now it's 2016, so it's kind of like I graduated from college, and now I'm working on my master's. And it's the love of the land. It's not like I own the land, I'm only a steward. And I get up every morning and I'm in awe of what nature can provide. Being a city girl most of my life, I mean, I lived in Paris and London and Rome and St. Louis, and absolutely thought I'll never find good food again. And now I meet the most incredible people that do the most incredible things. They raise bees, they make quilts. They're here because they love this land, and I do too.
Can you tell me about what you're cooking, Alex?
Yeah, we have Moondance Farms New York strip steaks.
So how important is it for you to have locally sourced ingredients for the things that you prepare for Public House?
I think it's really important. I mean, some of the, it's all about building a community and working with the farmers. I mean, Jane has always been one that she comes in and yes, we use her beef and we use her product, which is fantastic, but she also supports the Public House just like any other customer, and maybe a little more because we have a shared pride in the kind of food that we're making there and where everything comes from.
What a beautiful partnership, and what gorgeous steaks. Matt, you're really missing out on this one. Back to you.
Steak. In a press release issued July 7th, Wendys announced that some of its stores in our viewing area were infected with malware, potentially stealing money from customers. Affected stores included those in Lebanon and West Plains. As of the end of June, the malware has been removed from computers and an investigation is ongoing. Wendys has announced that it will be offering a year of complimentary fraud consultation and identity restoration support for any customers who may have been affected by the breach. More fast food follies as the West Plains McDonald's has a new drive-thru. 27-year-old Crystal Rowlett lost control of her vehicle in the restaurant's parking lot and ran into the building. The impact destroyed a section of wall and a handrail. No one was injured in the crash. During a weekend concert at Shots Bar in Rolla, headliner Shooter Jennings was accompanied by members of his late father's band, Waymore's Outlaws. The Outlaws performed a set of classic Waylon songs, including one that features a pair of cousins that drive a classic orange Charger to elude the law.
Just a good old boy. They wouldn't change it for good. Yeah, it is a life system like a true one. Hey, Robin Hood.
James Mattis served in the United States Army from 1965 to 1988. He fought in the Vietnam War and reached the rank of Sergeant First Class. Mattis recently passed away, set to be buried at the Missouri Veterans Cemetery with no family present. With the prospect of this veteran's funeral being unattended, Gloria Macbeth acted. She created a Facebook event and invited everyone she knew, then asked those folks to invite everyone they knew. On June 29th, a standing room only crowd attended James Mattis' funeral. 12 soldiers from Fort Leonard Wood provided the service with full military honors. This augmented reality game is currently taking the nation by storm. To help you learn more about it, here's our resident expert Jacob Scott and a rather reluctant Ben Gronowski.
Thanks, Matt. I'm here with our very own resident trainer, Jacob Scott, who's now a level 22 Pokemon trainer. I've heard that's good. I don't know. So Jacob, let's talk Pokemon Go. It's definitely swept across the nation, and West Plains isn't immune to it. You know, so the first thing I think of when people tell me that this is the main app, you got to get it, you have to own it. Don't worry, the app's free. It sort of makes me think of, you know, the free kitten clause, which clearly states, yeah, the kitten's free, but it comes with a considerable financial commitment if you want to keep playing with it. So is Pokemon Go really free?
Well, see, a lot of people have been wondering that, but how I've seen it is that I've been playing since day one and I'm already level 22. I haven't dropped any money on this game. As long as you're willing to put the time and effort and get out there, you can get everything that you want in the game for free.
Okay, all right. So I mean, there's no way I'm going to run into something and it's just going to be near impossible to accomplish without in-game currency?
I mean, having currency like in any game does help, but I mean, if you're really wanting the challenge, just get out there.
All right, cool. Well, hey man, I'm interested. So I tell you what, I got my phone on me. Maybe we can get started, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So, here we go. Now, is this is a Teletac 250?
What in the world is that?
It's my phone. Doesn't it work on all phones?
No, you have to actually have something that is above 4.4 in Android or something that's iPhone 5 or above.
So it's not compatible with Teletac?
No.
Not even the 250 model, huh?
I think that came out before I was born.
Probably. We went out and we talked to some folks. So one of the questions that I posed to them that I want to pose to you now, are you concerned with your own well-being when you're out doing these things?
Well, I mean, I feel like I live in a more friendly neighborhood. I feel like the big cities could get a little dangerous. I know some people are already taking this game a little bit out of hand. I've seen on social media and all over the news and stuff. But in all honesty, as long as you can keep it calm, know what you're doing, I mean, it's just like any regular day. Trust the people who seem trustworthy. Don't trust the people who don't.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of those interviews. Like that. What's been your experience with Pokemon Go? What do you think?
I really enjoy it, and it's been really nice, but the crashes are pretty annoying.
It's fantastic. It's a great idea.
Tried it. Went out with her for a couple hours.
and got hooked on it.
Okay. And do you have any like memorable Pokemon Go moment y'all ready, or?
I met a few of my friends from Call of Duty out here actually.
Okay.
The best one is a old lady came out and captured a Charizard, which is a really rare one, and walked back in the building without saying a word because it just disappeared.
We saw Tentacruel pop up, and we could not find it for an age. We got walkie-talkies, we split up, we were running around like crazy. It took us like 15 minutes, and we finally get to it, and everyone catches it but me. My game crashed.
Oh, no.
It was bad, but it was so fun.
But are you concerned, as a resident living here in West Plains, of people using the game for malicious intent?
In West Plains, no. It's really chill here.
In West Plains, no. I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is.
Well, I see on the news about the big cities what's going on, like the muggings going on about that. Around here, I'm not too worried about it here.
I spoke with Officer Ron Redfield of the West Plains Police Department. In a statement, he urges users to be aware of their surroundings and use crosswalks. Do not play the game while driving, you will be cited. And trespassing not only is illegal, but the dangers of private residence or industrial areas are not always posted. Thankfully, no incidences or accidents have been reported in the area. Now, with an upgraded phone in my hand, back to you, Matt.
Matt, you're on. Oh, yes. Great story, Ben. Now go forth and be the best, like no one ever was. I'm Matt Wacker. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you, Pikachu!